The Different Bodies Lab brings together 14 artists based in 5 different countries in Europe to explore difference as value in arts and society, with a focus on young audiences.
I and we have attended the Push Plus laboratory, and the theme is Different Bodies,
which is one of 3 labs as part of Push Plus, a multi-partner European project.
It's a safe space for creative artists to come together and talk about what the art industry means to them and how we can make it better and the tools we need to almost like protect ourselves as we continue in the art industry.
So we've been spending 8 days on Zoom,
in which we've explored different bodies from multiple perspectives, critically, and as I say again in our practice, and then we've shared that, so there's some collaboration as well.
It's different body, like a body exactly, or you mean different body with different thinking and everything? So, and how we can use this difference in something useful. So the lab for different body, it was something so challenging and so new for me.
At the start, I was like, oh, different body. Okay, everybody looks different. We're all different. We're all different thing. But by the time we finished the day, I was like, oh no, we're all the same.
All the artists have different approaches to the concept of different bodies. Some come from the perspective of disability or in immigration or and we are so in this lab we are exploring what is a different body.
It's a real treat for me to be able to be here with these wonderful artists and just talking about these things and really understanding in a much deeper level.
When I talk about difference in my work, it's a lot about mixed abilities, but for others it might be about where you come from or what language you speak, or age. So yeah, there are so many different entrances, which has been really inspiring.
Different Bodies Lab makes you rediscover your body and other bodies. It makes you think outside of the box.
In a sense, you meet yourself there. You get to know more of yourself there by diving into this Different Bodies Lab.
The sessions have actually been passing really quickly. We start in the morning by doing a shared warm-up. We've all been leading sessions where different people will lead a bodily warm-up with exercises from their practice so we can get to know the other artists a bit.
I just feel much more connected. There's this really sense of connection all over again.
So that is very nice, especially maybe at a time where you have not been moving so much and you have not had such a great connection with your body. It's nice to get into this again.
And then we have a critical warm-up. So someone just raises a topic, questions. It's like a provocation. So they want us to discuss about this all together.
Each artist would come, one per day would come with a critical provocation or a theme that you just put into this space. And then we all start brainstorming around it.
Really fascinating. I told critical thinking. I'm now doing that with my friends. I'm like, okay, critical thinking time. It's really good because it's all about being open and somebody bringing up something that they would have never shared with anybody else.
And then we receive prompts from Tona.
A prompt can be, how does difference affect my work? And each of the artists will work with this prompt.
You could see it as a question that is offered that then as artists we go away and we think about it and we respond to that question.
Just different ways to open our eyes. And we also worked in smaller groups. We got to speak and collaborate through different functions, different junctions. One of the junctions was, what is a different body? So we spoke about maybe how we all go through a stage where we feel unaccepted. And how can that be changed and what that experience means.
So really it's a structure of questions to allow us to take a deep dive into our own particular practice and also to sort of create a sort of networked knowledge from the other artists that are in the lab.
So it was a lot of open conversation, open dialogues, but it showed us different sides. It definitely woke me up.
And they continuously document how they work with the prompts, visually, through filming or writing.
Tona's facilitation and her understanding of the technology was super important. I thought she was really discerning with how she structured it and used the different technologies.
So on the Padlet, I was putting a little bit about myself and my practice. I also was loading in links with videos. Some of the video that I made, it's like a short film called Emancipation, which is a short film about freeing oneself from mental constraints. This was like a way of me of confronting the established structures.
So I made a series of photos, which I uploaded to my Padlet. But when I presented it to my group, I did it more as like a slideshow type of presenting, and I had some text connected to it.
It's my artistic personality. It's me as an artist, and then my artistic goals as well. So I introduce myself as an artist, what I do, my practice, how I work, and where I want to go as well, so that I can actually get some really good ideas and feedbacks from the other artists, because I want to do something specific in my practice further down the line, and then they can help me with that.
On Monday evening, we had a workshop with It's Dance Laboratory, who are a group of dancers with all different bodies. We spent a workshop together, creating small performances in small groups, playing with the frame, playing with mirroring and copying and perspective. And I think it was a really joyful evening that resonated with the lab participants, and we found it a really moving experience.
When I create, I want to explore differences and how different physicalities bring different material to the stage.
So I guess in some way I've always felt different with the work I'm doing now, the pioneer work. We are also different even in the contemporary dance environment. But my eye has always caught different movements. In some way, I find them more interesting than the movements that we always see.
And this is also one of my favorite things about teaching, and why I prefer teaching kids with disabilities rather than not, because they have a different approach to the room and to their body and to physical meetings with other bodies. So I learn so much from them about how I can move.
Is that I would like to make more work for children around difference, because I have a different body and a different experience by virtue of that fact, and because I have albinism and a visual impairment. So that means I had a particular experience growing up.
My perspective, like they say it here in Belgium, I am a newcomer, someone new he came here, or refugees, but they say it a newcomer. So then it is different.
I think everyone should be celebrated, and difference, no difference. And there's this thing about, do you celebrate the difference or you just get on with it? Or I don't think it matters. Let's just be in this together and enjoy it and get on with it. And there's so much learning, though. I've learned so much from the other participants about the challenges they face on a daily basis. I thought I knew about. I hadn't a clue.
I think what came up through this lab was the volume and the complexity of the subject of different bodies is.
I suppose one can feel a little bit, when you're the person with the disability in the room, a little bit on your own. And so it's great to meet other artists with disabilities or differences.
It may have its limits, but you can work around the limits. It just doesn't have one function. You just need to listen to the body, understand the body, to see the full potential of that body.
But I love it with this group, how we can really talk about it, and I can learn so much and ask people and have a chat in a very natural way. It's really good.
The people are definitely the best part about this lab for me. We're artists that come from so many different countries that didn't know about each other before the lab.
So it was beautiful to be able to walk with different artists and understand we're similar in so many ways.
And I feel like at first I was a bit intimidated because they had so much experience in theater and dance, and I don't have that. But at the same time, it felt like a safe space where I could actually be more confident and share my practice and learn from each other.
When an artist of my background work with these kind of issues, you tend to feel like you're alone because you really get like isolated into the concept. It's kind of like it swallows you. So this was like a good platform to meet everyone because it opened up, and then you would feel that you belong to a world that is not made up. You really like, you are not alone.
And I feel there's always going to be a bond with all of us, because I just know there is.
I definitely see it as more as a starting point than an ending of something. There was a lot of knowledge that was shared and produced through these 8 days that we had together.
This was my first time being around different people. These are people that I would possibly pass by in life outside in the streets, but I would never sit and talk to because I wouldn't think they would want to hear me. And I don't think we would relate. So that was the most amazing thing.
I think actually one of the things that was good too was that we had to sort of produce work in an afternoon and then share it. And for me, artistically, I would spend about 6 months or 6 years. You know, like it's like, how long is a piece of string? I have this idea, but let me ponder it.
I'm very much in my head when we are when I'm working normally. So digging into the artistic way of expressing ourselves was very useful for me.
So I think that kind of has helped me move through things.
It feels like we want to actually keep in touch and be able to collaborate with each other.
We use art like something medicine to help people.
My long-term aim is to create the first integrated dance company in Denmark. And this is a step on the way to both have support in what we're doing, and also I think to network internationally, because we're going to get there one day as well.
There's a richness I cannot describe. I just feel it's going to really have a massive impact on my practice.
I am really so proud to meet these people, so proud to see what they do and what they did, and how they are so great to make big change in their community and big change for many people where they live.
Inspiration changes you. And once you change, somebody else could see your change. They could see you glowing more. And that's to them inspiration. And then that same inspiration will make them change. And then it will go inspiration, change, inspiration, change. So I would say to anybody, keep trying to be inspired, keep getting inspired so you can change and inspire someone else.
But I want to say a big thank you to the partners, and just, I wouldn't believe the value we could have got in this, in every possible sense, in a few days over Zoom.
I hope that this lab will continue in the different countries through the work of the different artists. I hope that they feel strengthened and empowered in their own work, and that they will, there will be a lot of spin-offs of their different ideas. I hope they stay connected with one another, because when you work with difference as a value, you need to stay connected in communities, because it can be hard work,
I think the artistic projects that you do at a time like this, where things are so unpredictable, they really stick with you. And I think this lab is definitely a part of it, because it happens at such a special time.